Welcome back to Woman Meets Bible. Today we're diving into a fascinating and somewhat mysterious figure from ancient mythology, Lilith. Her story is often mentioned in various traditions and texts, but what does the Bible actually say about her? Is Lilith a biblical concept, or is she a product of later mythology? Let's explore her origins, significance, and the different perspectives surrounding her. To begin, let's address the question, who is Lilith? Lilith's name appears in various ancient texts, but she is not a prominent figure in the Bible itself. Instead, her origins are rooted in ancient Near Eastern mythology and later Jewish folklore. The most well-known references to Lilith come from sources outside the canonical Bible, such as the Babylonian Talmud and medieval Jewish mystical texts. The earliest mention of Lilith can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamian mythology. In these traditions, she is often depicted as a demonic figure or a spirit associated with storms and disease. Lilith was believed to be a dangerous and seductive entity who preyed on pregnant women and newborns. This portrayal of Lilith as a malevolent being influenced later Jewish interpretations. In Jewish folklore, particularly in the Babylonian Talmud, Lilith is mentioned in a few places. For example, in the Talmudic text, she is described as a night demon, or a figure who harms infants. The Talmudic texts describe her as a woman who was created at the same time as Adam, but who left him because she did not want to submit to him. This leads us to the most famous and intriguing association of Lilith with the biblical creation story. According to some Jewish mystical texts, particularly the Kabbalistic tradition, Lilith was created as Adam's first wife before Eve. This idea comes from an interpretation of Genesis 1:27, which says that God created humankind in his image, male and female. Some mystical traditions suggest that Lilith was the female partner created alongside Adam, but she left him because of disputes over equality and dominance. The notion of Lilith as Adam's first wife is not found in the canonical Bible, but emerges from these extra-biblical sources. The idea is that Lilith, unlike Eve, was not created from Adam's rib, which some interpret as a sign of her independence and unwillingness to be subordinate. This mythological narrative suggests that Lilith was then replaced by Eve, who was created from Adam's rib to ensure her subservience. To understand the deeper significance of Lilith, let's consider some biblical and extra-biblical references. Although Lilith is not mentioned directly in the canonical Bible, some believe that her name appears in Isaiah 34:14, where it is translated as screech owl or night monster in various Bible versions. The verse reads, "The desert creatures will meet with the hyenas, and wild goats will bleat to each other. There the night creatures will also lie down and find for themselves places of rest." In this context, the term is used to describe a mythical creature associated with desolation and chaos. Commentaries on this verse, such as those by the Jewish Publication Society, suggest that the term Lilith in this passage may reflect earlier myths and folklore about demons and spirits. This usage aligns with the idea of Lilith as a night demon, rather than a prominent figure in the biblical creation story. The story of Lilith offers different perspectives on gender roles and the nature of female power. In feminist interpretations, Lilith represents a symbol of independence and resistance against patriarchal structures. Her mythological story challenges traditional notions of submission and highlights the complexities of gender dynamics in ancient texts. In contrast, traditional Jewish interpretations often view Lilith as a symbol of chaos and rebellion. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of defiance and nonconformity. This view emphasizes her role as a disruptive force in the mythological narrative. The lack of direct biblical references to Lilith raises questions about why she became such a significant figure in later traditions. One reason could be the blending of various ancient mythologies with biblical stories. As Jewish communities encounter different cultures and their myths, elements from these traditions may have influenced the development of Lilith's character. Additionally, Lilith's presence in Jewish mysticism and folklore reflects broader themes of myth-making and cultural adaptation. Her story has evolved over time, incorporating elements from various sources and reflecting the changing attitudes toward gender and power. In conclusion, Lilith is a complex figure whose story intertwines with ancient mythology and later interpretations. While she is not a prominent figure in the canonical Bible, her mythological and folkloric presence reveals much about the cultural and theological contexts in which she was developed. Whether seen as a symbol of rebellion or a cautionary tale, Lilith's story continues to captivate and provoke thought. Thank you for joining me in exploring the myth of Lilith. I hope you found this discussion insightful. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What other topics are you curious about? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep exploring and learning. See you in the next video.